All right, let's look at the data. Today, we're not just looking at charts, we're tracking a signal, a massive policy event that didn't just nudge the market, it carved a clear path, showing us exactly where the informed money was headed.
So, what we have here wasn't some random fluctuation or a bit of market noise. Nope. We're looking at a single, specific legislative event that kicked off one of the most significant capital rotations we've seen in recent history.
And hey, that's not just me saying it, that's a direct quote from market commentary. See, when this bill got signed into law on July 4th, 2025, it was way more than just a political headline. For us, it was a fundamental market catalyst.
Now, let's talk about scale, because this is where it gets really interesting. We're talking about the $3.3 trillion Big Beautiful Bill. Look, when you inject that kind of capital and completely shift spending priorities, you don't just influence the market, you literally create new multi-year trends by force. But right here, this is the market anomaly that should get every single one of you paying attention. In the months leading up to this bill's passage, a very interesting cluster of 585 trades were made by members of Congress. Now, this isn't just noise. This is a high-fidelity data signal. It's a breadcrumb trail pointing to exactly where sophisticated players knew the capital was about to flow.
So let's break down the mechanism here. This legislation wasn't vague at all. It drew a hard line right in the sand, basically sorting the entire market into two very distinct camps. You had your winners and you had your losers.
And it was crystal clear. On one side, you've got the winners. Defense, border security, traditional energy, all getting huge funding boosts and their tax credits restored. And on the other side, well, you've got the losers. The whole EV ecosystem, renewable energy, they saw their federal support and tax credits get absolutely slashed. This, my friends, is a textbook, top-down, policy-driven sector rotation.
And this chart just brilliantly illustrates the sheer force of that capital reallocation. I mean, we're talking about a $150 billion boost for defense, $100 billion for border security, and at the same time, a nearly $500 billion cut for clean energy. Money wasn't just moving, it was being redirected with a fire hose.
Okay, so that brings us to the real million-dollar question, right? How did the informed players, and I'm talking specifically about members of Congress with a front-row seat to these negotiations, how did they position their own money around this event? The data shows a divergence so clear you could drive a truck through it. Heavy trading activity in these soon-to-be-favored sectors, it started way back in January 2025. That's a full 6 months before the bill was even signed. This wasn't people reacting to the news. This was anticipatory positioning based on some very, very high-quality intelligence. And the results? Well, they speak for themselves. The data clearly shows that representatives who aligned their portfolios with the bill's beneficiaries saw absolutely exceptional returns. We're talking gains of over 70, 80, even 97% in hot sectors like surveillance and defense tech. This is exactly what validates the predictive power of tracking these informed flows.
So this massive policy-driven split in the market creates a really clear strategic framework. For traders like us, this basically sets up two very distinct, data-dependent ways to play this going forward.
The bull case is pretty simple. You follow the money. Policy is one heck of a powerful tailwind. And if you align with government spending and these informed capital flows, you've got a clear momentum thesis. The bear case, though, that's for the contrarians out there. You could argue that sectors like EVs and renewables, which are now facing these massive policy headwinds, could get deeply undervalued, creating some really attractive long-term entry points if you believe the storm will eventually pass. You know, this whole analysis forces us to zoom out a bit and ask a much bigger, more fundamental question about how today's markets are structured. Because this isn't just about one bill, it's about a template for what's to come. Think about it, the ability to analyze and anticipate these major legislative shifts, it might not just be an advantage for generating alpha anymore. In a market that is so heavily influenced by government action, it might just be a necessity. Now, just a reminder, this analysis is for educational purposes only. It's based on current data, and you know how fast that can change. So please always conduct your own due diligence before making any investment decisions. We are tracking these flows in real time. So while you analyze the next move, go ahead and check out the tools in the description. You can sign up for Public to get $20 in free assets, check Webull for that BTC promo, or look into NVDA on Moomoo. All the links are down below. And hey, like and subscribe for more deep dive analysis. Stay disciplined, stay liquid,